Today, we're going to talk about remasters and remakes. Hi, I'm Sweet Tea Killer, and if you like retro gaming and PC content, then you are in the perfect place. If you like what you see today, hit that like button if you want to see more just like this one. Hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any videos. Now, what is a remaster versus a remake? A remaster is basically, from my understanding and my own personal definition, a remaster is when someone takes the core game. We'll call it Spider-Man PS4, and what they did is they made everything pretty, and they also made it compatible with being on PC, and they smoothed out all the textures, all the stuff essentially that the PS4 couldn't really do, and they put it on upgraded hardware because let's be honest, at the time of release, I know that this is going to cause a big argument, but at the time of release of Spider-Man Remastered for PC, the modern PCs were more powerful than the PlayStation 4s. I mean, I don't think that there's much of a debate on that, but that's a different video for a different time. So remasters is where they make everything pretty and make them compatible with modern hardware. Now, if you have a remake, that's something different entirely. A remake is something like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder's Revenge. It wasn't a remaster of Hyperstone Heist or Turtles in Time, but it took the core gameplay and added more levels and added a lot of different things here and there and made essentially an entirely new game using the same foundation. So, that with that being said, I do have a couple of games that I would love to see remastered or remade, depending on the game, and this is that list. So, before we get started on that list, there's one thing that needs to be addressed. These first two sections of games, or first two IPs for video games, are going to be difficult to do. I would love to see them. I really, really would. I would love to see these games. However, you're going to have to deal with the House of Mouse. Disney, if you're watching this, and I hope somebody shares it with you, if you make something that is really, really good, or you partner with somebody and the partnership makes something that's really, really good, then gamers are more likely to spend money on it. Case in point, I mentioned it just a second ago, is Shredder's Revenge. That, to me personally, that was a love letter to the 90s arcade beat 'em ups, or Ninja Turtles arcade beat 'em ups that were put out by Konami. They were fantastic. They were a lot of fun. They had wacky little parts in them, jokes that people could get, and it was simple. And that was on a 16-bit console. Now, for the two IPs that I'm talking about, number one is X-Men, and there's two titles that are included in that. Number one is X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, and the second one is the X-Men arcade game, again put out by Konami. And X-Men Mutant Apocalypse was actually put out by Capcom. But either way, both of those were really, really good titles in their own right, and for various different reasons. A few of them are the same across the two games. And here is what I would do if I were remaking these games, using the same core gameplay, but remaking the game. First of all, I would implement more mutant powers. Wolverine, I'm wearing a Wolverine t-shirt. Anyway, so Wolverine in both of those games, he did not have his healing factor. And I would add that and not something where he heals immediately, but just add it to it as another little level of detail to these games. Cyclops, you can add different optic blasts for him, various things like that. So many characters, you can have so many mutant powers and so many different varieties of mutant powers. Add that to both of them. And with that, you add more characters. There are a bunch of different characters, X-Men related, where they work together and they complement each other. For example, one thing that X-Men Legends did really, really well is the characters that were strong, Colossus, Beast, Rogue, they were able to walk up to Wolverine, grab him, and throw him. In the comics, that is known as a fastball special. If you put that in a game, that's going to let gamers like me know that you did your homework and you know what you're talking about. And I'm more likely to buy the game. So, in addition to that, I would add more missions, or even in addition to that, add longer missions, more things to do, more types of enemies to take down, and along with that, I would also add multiplayer. Now, again, I understand that the arcade game did have multiplayer. However, when you're dealing with modern times and modern hardware, the one thing you're going to have to deal with is online multiplayer. And me personally, I would put online multiplayer on there. I would love to be able to play an X-Men arcade game remake with my friends that don't live near me. Now, couch co-op is great too, but for the most part, none of the gamer friends that I have live near me, so I would add that. And with that, I would add team up attacks. For example, Storm, she makes a whirlwind, a tornado, whatever you want to call it, and the tornado grabs Wolverine and spins him around. You can call it a clawnado. Something silly like that. You don't have to take it seriously. It doesn't have to be like all dark and gritty, but something like that. Or Rogue, she's strong. She can pick just about, I mean, pretty much anybody up. She picks up Cyclops and flies him over the ground, and he shoots a wide beam and basically wipes out most of the characters on the screen. Something like that. Innovative ideas for different power ups, or excuse me, different team up attacks, where it takes two or more of the characters and they work together and deal out justice in their own little way. And finally, I already mentioned couch co-op as well as multiplayer. I would love to see that. If I want to play with somebody who is nearby, they can come over, or I can play with somebody online. I would love that. Now, for the second IP or intellectual property that we're talking about, that I would love to see a remaster or remake of, is the Star Wars Jedi Knight series. Again, Disney, listen to me very carefully, okay? This is an IP, along with the X-Men, you do not need to screw up. Oh, and I would not, me personally, I would not allow Electronic Arts around this because they do not have a good track record. Let Lucasfilm Games or LucasArts Games, whatever it's called now, let them take the game that they made, because LucasArts made the game, and let them update it. First and foremost, I'd update the graphics, especially with Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight, and Mysteries of the Sith. Those are great games. I love them. However, they look like a blocky mess. They make Minecraft look like a high definition, characters. That it's not that great, but the core gameplay itself is still really good. And with that, I would also add ray tracing support. Make all of Whenever a blaster shot goes across, make the glow of it go with it. Little details that'll make these games really, really awesome. And one other thing that I would do as far as the gameplay and attacks and characters and everything goes, number one, I would add more customization to your character. You can add it as, modders online are going to do this anyway, so you might want to get out ahead of this. But I would make the character customization more. So, for instance, in Jedi Outcast and Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight, you have Kyle Katarn. Give him more outfits, give him, different colors, Jedi robes, whatever you want to do, but give him more outfits. Now, in the case of Jedi Academy, I would personally make it where you can make a Rhodian Jedi, Give him all kinds of different robes, lightsaber colors. Just take what's already there and just multiply it, crank it up to 11, whatever you have to do, but give the player more options. Take a lesson from the WWE 2K22, I think it is. A lot of people that I've talked to bought that game because of the customization. That's what gamers love. We love customization. If I could have a Jedi Knight or a character, a Jedi who looked like Plo Koon and he had, Plo Koon's robes on, or, a regular human, I can make him look like me or something. Anything that you can possibly think of to put in this game. Now, do not make a bunch of useless DLC that people have to pay more money for. If you make this game, I'm trying to get this across to a lot of developers. If you remake this game, do not make it a cash cow. Make money from it. By all means, make money from it. But come on, tone it down, keep it reasonable, and you'll make tons of money. I guarantee it. One final thing about the Jedi Knight series is the core gameplay. Um, well, I guess I should back up and say the gameplay of Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy, don't touch it. Upgrade the other ones to that same engine and don't touch it, because that is one of the reasons that I still play those games today. I would love for them to be more compatible with modern hardware. However, the core gameplay itself is absolutely beautiful. Like throwing your lightsaber, and until it comes back, you're using force lightning and all this other kind of stuff. Heck, if you want to make an online multiplayer, I mean, I would love to have like a 50-person battle, and team deathmatch or something like that. Sith versus Jedi, or you know every man for himself, free for all. I would love that kind of stuff. And these are ideas I'm handing to you. And I hope, because I don't have the knowledge or anything like that to actually make a video game, I'm telling you what would be awesome in this kind of stuff. Now, for the third and final intellectual property that I would love to see remade, you have to remake this game just because it ties into a movie. And that is Batman Returns on Super Nintendo. It's it's a side-scrolling beat 'em up that was tied into the movie Batman Returns, and honestly, it is, in my personal opinion, the best beat 'em up ever made. I love this game. I've played through it hundreds of times. I still play through it. And by the way, if you'd like to see a playthrough of this game where I tried on the hardest difficulty, click right there, and it'll take you right to it. However, I would personally keep the beat 'em up style of gameplay. It was perfect. It was polished. It was beautiful. And in the '90s, especially the early '90s into the mid '90s, beat 'em ups were king. They were in arcades. They were on home consoles. They were everywhere. And one thing I would like to mention and stress is the game does not have to follow the movie. Mainly, there's other features that I would add where it can't follow the movie because Batman is by himself in the game. So one thing that I would add is add more gadgets. Right now, as of the time of release, you have a batarang, you have a grappling hook, and in one level you can actually drive the Batmobile. I would add a few, and there's also a test tube. You throw it on the ground that wipes the screen pretty much. I would add a few more things. You can add a remote batarang that will basically do circles around Batman to clear the screen. Stuff like that. That's just one example. I would also, in order to enhance the experience, I would add a little bit of voice work. Unfortunately, rest in peace, but you cannot include Kevin Conroy unless you use the old sound bites that you have from his 20 years of doing the voice of Batman. I would definitely recommend doing that just as a nod to him out of respect. Do it well or don't do it at all. But, and then add more enemies. Add the Joker in there somewhere. Doesn't have to be a main villain, but you can add the Joker in there somewhere. Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, any of Batman's rogues gallery. You know what? I would add Bane. Not the movie one. I'm talking about the comic accurate Bane. Make him the main villain. I'm going off on a tangent, but these are the ideas that are popping in my head, and they're way off of the notes that I have written down. I would also include a multiplayer. It can be couch co-op or online, and each player picks a member of the Bat family. We're talking Batgirl, Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood, even Oracle. Yes, I said Oracle, not Bat. I include Batgirl, but also Oracle, because Oracle you can make. I mean, is it realistic? No, but you can make somebody in a wheelchair be able to beat the crap out of somebody. Just saying. And I say that because I don't think that Oracle gets enough love from, let's see, anybody. And finally, and you can take this for the X-Men remakes as well, add levels, add a whole different story. Actually, the Lego Batman games did this, but add another or a different side of the story where you play as the villains. And, as as horrible as it sounds, where you're, attacking the police or something like that. Something lighthearted. It doesn't have to be, dark and edgy, but, add the other side of that where people can play with the villains, because Bane and the Joker teaming up, it just sounds terrifying. And, Bane can have, just his fist and the venom, and then the Joker, he has all of his trick toys and stuff like that. So these are the remasters and remakes that I would like to see. There are tons more of them. Maybe I'll make another video. If you guys would like to see another video of other games that I'd like to see remastered or remade, then drop me a comment down below, and I'll try to make another list. So again, if you've liked this video and you want to see more, drop a like on it, sub to the channel, and I'll have more videos coming to you here soon. And if you like to watch live streams, I live stream on this channel every Friday night and Saturday night at 9:30 p.m. Mountain Time, 11:30 p.m. Eastern. I hope to see you guys in the next one, but until then, work hard, play hard, game hard. Click on this video right here and be excellent to each other. Bye.